Hello everybody, welcome back into Jar's Toy Emporium. My name is Jacob and it is another new comic book Wednesday. Now I know I haven't been doing a very good job of uploading these every single week, but that all changes this time around because we are going to make sure that we get our new comic book vlog up every single week from now on. I'm feeling motivated. I've been very busy with work and stuff, but I realize I just need to make some extra time if I want to get these videos uploaded. So I'm super pumped about today's pickups. We are heading to the comic book shop now. I think it's an Ultimate Spider-Man week, which anytime it is one of those, it is a good week. And I'm sure there's some other stuff that I'm not even realizing releases this week, but nonetheless, I am very excited. So without further ado, let's head to the comic shop. And here we are at Gotham City Limit. All right, guys, so checking out some of the new comic book drops this week. They had these awesome oversized Batman Hush 2 things. I think these are really cool. I've never picked up any of these oversized comics, but I do think they're really cool, and I feel like they would display really, really well on a wall. They had some of the Spider-Man versus Predator, they had some Daredevil, and they also still had some of the Superman Unlimited comics left over. But check out some of these awesome Batman Hush variant covers. I thought some of these were so cool looking. Unfortunately, I'm not collecting any of these, but these would have been a very cool set of comics to pick up. Moving on over to the other table, we have What If. This Iron Man Donald Duck thing is hilarious to me. I thought these were really cool covers, but obviously I'm not going to pick up any of those. Ultimate Spider-Man 17 had some amazing covers as well. Super stoked to get into that. That is definitely my reading pick of the week. We have some other stuff here that didn't really interest me too much. I've been loving these Alex Ross variants. I think they look really good. I did pick up the Moon Knight one last week that I haven't had a chance to show you guys, but I think it is very cool. Minor Arcana, one of those ones I'm waiting for a trade paperback on. Same with the Sort of Crisis events. I'm excited to get into those at some point, but just not quite yet. Moving on over to the other side of the new comic book table, I was more so excited with the stuff at the end of the table. Now, this one is one I came very close to picking up, Detective Kaiju #1. Again, another thing I will probably wait for a trade paperback on, but it did look cool, and I was very close to picking it up. We got some Vox Machina here for some people that are Dungeons & Dragons fan, but the thing I was most excited about was the new Void Rivals and the new G.I. Joe from Energon. Now, I'm super excited about these. They had a cool die-cast or die-cut cover there, which I thought was neat, but yeah, Void Rivals is just peak. G.I. Joe is awesome as well. Really excited to tap into those. Moving over to the DC table, a big week for DC. We have Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Martian Manhunter. Love both of these comics, so that's a very strong week for DC. And some of the variants for Absolute Martian Manhunter have been incredible. Really liked this cover here. Mr. Terrific #1 came out. I didn't pick it up. I know a lot of people that did, and another very cool cover here. But I was happy with my selection of books, and I was ready to head on out because I am stoked for the amazing books that we got this week. Alrighty, guys, we are back from the comic shop, and we have a very solid selection of books this week. When I got to the comic shop, I got my pull list in hand. I was amazed at some of the titles we have all in one week. Another fantastic week of comic books, and this week we actually have one entry in all three of the big universes, which is really exciting. So without further ado, let's start talking about some of these awesome comics. Starting off with my personal reading pick of the week, I have to go with Ultimate Spider-Man issue #17, and look at how good that cover is. Very cool. Excited to see what that is all about. But I think anytime Ultimate Spider-Man is in my pull list, it's hard for it not to be my reading pick of the week. The only time that it's even this is stretching it. The only time it's potentially not is when there's an Absolute Batman, and I guess now we'll have to see when Invincible Battle Beast is coming out, if it ever comes out in the same week as Ultimate Spider-Man, and then I'll be able to gauge which one I'm more excited for. But as of today, it is very easy to pick Ultimate Spider-Man #17 as my reading pick of the week. So like I was saying, we have one entry in all three of the big universes this week with the Ultimate Universe, the Absolute Universe, and the Energon Universe. We're going to head over to DC now because we have Absolute Wonder Woman issue #8. Now, I know a lot of people say this is their favorite Absolute story. I'm still a fan of the Batman stuff. It's still been my favorite Absolute entry. Wonder Woman might be a close second for me. That and Superman, and we have another one here that's been they're really all great. I'm super excited anytime I get any of them in here. I think you're picking the best of the best when you're trying to figure out which one is your favorite, but Absolute Wonder Woman issue #8, just a great story. Excited to continue with this. This is where a new story starts, as you guys can see here. So we just got to the end of an arc with issue #7. Issue #8 starts off a new one. So a good jumping on point if you do not want to go back and try to find all the single issues, but they actually have the trade paperbacks out now for this, for issues 1 through 6. It's probably not that hard to find in issue 7, even if it's a variant cover if you wanted to get caught up, but a new story starting with Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 8. Very excited to read this. Probably one of the most fun things to read in the Absolute universe, mainly because of how good the art has been, is Absolute Martian Manhunter. Now we have issue number 3 here. As you guys can see, the covers always look so cool in this one. I really love all the colors that they use, and these colors are really used throughout the entire comic, which is really cool. So issue number 3, issue 1 and 2 have been phenomenal. I've really loved all of the newest entries into the Absolute universe with this, Green Lantern, and The Flash. The Flash has been very, very good. I think of the new 3, it might be my least favorite, and that's kind of like pushing it because they're all really good. This one might be my favorite, though, and that's because I have very little exposure to Absolute Martian Manhunter, so getting to kind of learn about him a little bit more and kind of seeing it through the Absolute Universe eyes, which has been just an absolute blast for me, has probably definitely elevated that story a little bit more, but I think the art has also done it a lot. I love all the colors and stuff, so really excited to continue reading this. We're 3 issues in, and it's been really good. Now, getting into something that you guys have heard me rant and rave about, we're going to head over to the Energon universe, and we have Void Rivals issue number 19. Another really, really cool cover here. Absolutely loving this. I think it's incredible that Robert Kirkman's writing this and Battle Beast and everything all at the same time, because this story just is incredible. It is nonstop. I think this is one of those things you have to pick up every single week. Even people that I know start off with this series and then they kind of fall off of it, they get a little bit bored. This is one that I continue to see people pick up every single week. So I think that speaks testament to how good the story is, especially when we have as many comics coming out as we do. It's easy to just drop one and say, I'll just wait for trade paperbacks or compendiums or omnibuses, anything like that. This is one you can't wait on. So excited to continue to read this. This has been my biggest surprise in comic stuff, is the Energon universe, because I had never really had any association with G.I. Joe, Transformers, and obviously Void Rivals being a new entry into that stuff. But Void Rivals issue number 19, I'm super stoked to continue reading this one also. And then, as if the continued greatness from this week is going to stop there, it definitely isn't. We have G.I. Joe issue number 7. Again, this is one of those things I had never read before, never watched any of the shows. I watched maybe one of the live action movies that they did, which I don't know how well those were received. I was a little kid when they came out. I thought it was awesome, but G.I. Joe issue number 7 here. Kind of a cool cover. I like we got some like sky looking, like some, almost like a sunset, and then we have like them in the dark here. The weapons, the art looks so cool on this one also. I've been loving this as well. I do need to still pick up the Scarlet, the Cobra Commander, and the Duke miniseries that they did for the Energon universe. I haven't read those yet, and I know a lot of people think you should for reading G.I. Joe. I haven't, and I'm still enjoying this, so I think that says a lot about how good the writing is and how well you feel informed. But I definitely need to pick up those trade paperbacks at some point just to read through them and kind of get caught up with everything. But G.I. Joe issue number 7, another great book. Now, for my cover of the week, we are going to be picking the Marvel entry this week of Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 17. I think this is going to be one of those iconic covers at some point when we look back on it and be like, oh, that's the cool green Goblin cover. I'm excited to see what that is all about, but you guys can see the little silhouette there. Very, very cool cover. I love the design on this one. Yeah, I think this one might be one of those books we look back on and be like, that was a great cover, and that is why it is winning my cover of the week. Now, that is all the comic books I picked up this week. Let me know what you guys picked up down in the comment section below. Let me know which one of these covers was your favorite, and if there's something that you picked up this week that I didn't, let me know about that as well. There's a lot of books while I was at the comic shop that I was very close to picking up. One of the new number 1s that I am interested in, it's going to be something I'll probably wait for a trade paperback or a complete edition or something like that, was Detective Kaiju. Really like the art on it. I'm a big fan of kaijus and stuff like that. So that one caught my attention. I came so close, but I was like, I have 5 books. This will be plenty for this week. And then maybe in the next few weeks, if I have a small week, I could throw that one in there if I really am. But I really try to wait for trade paperbacks on stuff like that because I think it's fun to just read it all at once. So those are my pickups. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Again, if you did, let me know all those things I just asked about down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss a new comic book vlog. Again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next New Comic Book Wednesday.